Welcome to Discomfortable Leadership, the microcast for leaders who know that courage starts where comfort ends. I'm Fred Johnson, and in just a few minutes, we'll challenge a mindset, build a skill, or uncover a leadership truth that helps you grow yourself so you can grow others. Let's get uncomfortable. The leadership ceiling: why your team rarely outgrows your example. Remember America's Next Top Model? It was one of the biggest shows on television. Every week, contestants walked the runway and did modeling challenges knowing they were being judged. Every pose, turn, and facial expression mattered. But America's Next Top Model wasn't a real runway. There aren't judges holding scorecards. There is, however, an audience. And whether the audience realizes it or not, they're constantly learning. They're watching how the model carries themselves, how confidently they walk, how they recover from mistakes, how they present themselves. The model isn't trying to teach anybody, but everyone watching is learning. Leadership works the same way. Your teammates are always watching. It's not because they're trying to evaluate you or wait for you to fail. It's simply one way people learn. They watch how you communicate, how you handle stress, how you greet people on Monday morning, how you leave work Friday evening, how you apologize after making a mistake, how you prepare, how you follow through. Every day, your teammates are taking mental notes about what leadership looks like. Most of it happens without either of you realizing it. That's why one of the biggest misconceptions about leadership is believing your influence begins when you start teaching. It doesn't. Don't get me wrong, part of leadership is absolutely teaching. We coach, we mentor, we train, we provide feedback. Those things matter. The problem is that most leaders start there and then stop. Instead of asking, what am I teaching? Leaders should ask, what am I modeling? Before your team remembers your training session, they've already watched how you responded to disappointment. Before they remember your presentation on communication, they've already noticed whether you return emails, avoid conflict, interrupt others, or truly listen. Long before people adopt your training, they adopt your habits. Your example is the curriculum your team studies every day. Raising the leadership ceiling. Your team is constantly watching, so every interaction is setting a standard. Whether you realize it or not, you're showing people what leadership looks like. The question isn't if you're leading by example. The question is, what example are you providing? That's why I believe the ceiling on everyone around you is you. If you consistently avoid accountability, don't be surprised when your team does the same. If you embrace feedback, your team becomes more open to feedback. If you treat adversity as an opportunity to learn, your team becomes more resilient. Culture doesn't begin with PDs. It begins with people. More specifically, it begins with the people everyone is watching. That means showing up as the best version of yourself isn't just about your own success. It's about intentionally raising the leadership ceiling for everyone around you. So where do you start? I believe it starts with what I call the 4 standards of leadership. These are 4 areas where your example is constantly shaping the habits, expectations, and culture of your team. Number 1, communication. Communication is about far more than presentations or public speaking. It's how you greet people in the morning. It's how quickly you respond. It's whether your meetings end with clear next steps. It's whether you address conflict directly or hope someone else handles it. Years ago, one of my supervisors gave me feedback I'll never forget. She told me I wasn't being direct enough. At first, I didn't believe her. Of course I was. Wasn't I? I wasn't trying to avoid difficult conversations. I was trying to be considerate. But in trying so hard to soften difficult messages, I was sometimes creating confusion instead of clarity. That feedback changed my leadership. I learned that being direct isn't about being harsh. It's about caring enough to make expectations clear. Because if I modeled indirect communication, I couldn't expect my team to communicate directly with one another. Number 2, executive presence. Executive presence isn't about having the loudest voice in the room. It's about creating confidence through preparation. Your team notices whether you show up prepared, whether your answers are thoughtful, whether you ramble or communicate with clarity, whether you're comfortable saying, here's what I know, here's what I don't know, here's what I'll find out. Preparation builds credibility long before charisma. Number 3, reliability. Trust is built one promise at a time. Imagine telling your team you'll send something by Wednesday. Wednesday comes, nothing. Thursday comes, nothing. Friday morning, it finally arrives without an explanation. In that moment, you've taught your team something. Not just about deadlines, but you've shown them what commitments mean on your team. Reliable leaders don't simply complete tasks. They establish consistency that others can depend on. Number 4, handling adversity. Every leader eventually faces disappointment. Project fails, proposal gets rejected, someone disagrees with your decision. In those moments, your team isn't just watching what happened. They're watching how you respond. Do you blame others? Or do you ask, what can we learn from this? How can I be better? The greatest leadership lessons are often taught during the hardest moments. When leaders reclaim calm, take ownership, and stay focused on solutions, they give everyone around them permission to do the same. The example they'll remember. People don't become great leaders through osmosis. Leadership still requires intentional learning, coaching, and practice. But your leadership will absolutely shape the habits people develop, the standards they hold to themselves to, and the mindsets they carry into their own leadership journeys. Every conversation, every decision, every setback, every promise kept. Someone is watching. And whether you intend to teach or not, your example is teaching anyway. If you found value in today's episode, connect with me on LinkedIn and let me know what resonated with you. I love to hear how you're putting these ideas into practice. And remember, courage starts where comfort ends.